bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Agape House on Grand Bahama is taking the gospel of Jesus Christ throughout the world. So far, the local church has ministries in Haiti, Canada, India, and Africa is set to come on stream later this year. Well, tonight, the pastor of the church in India is sharing the success of his international ministry despite suffering much persecution. Oftentimes, there are basic freedoms we enjoy here in the Bahamas that may be taken for granted. We are able to freely attend the church of our choice, pray openly, or have the right to religious freedom. But in India, where the population is 1.3 billion people, only 3% of that population has ever heard about the Christian faith. Agape House on Grand Bahama has partnered with Agape House India. Financially to date, they have, through Reverend Kali Kumar, delivered hundreds of Bibles to that country.
But through my conversation, my father asked me, the apostle asked me, how many Bibles you want? I told 800 Bibles, and they funded for that. And we distributed them to our pastors, and our pastors taken to these to our believers, and they cannot afford to buy even the Bible.
But it comes at a great cost. That thing Pastor Kumar speaks of is persecution and ridicule by those who are not believers in Christ.
A few months ago, a pastor and his wife was pulled into the streets, stripped naked, shaved one side of their head, just to humiliate them. A couple of years ago, one of our pastors was arrested and thrown in jail for putting a Christian flyer on a Hindu wall. He did it by mistake. He didn't realize that he was on a Hindu wall, but he put it on a Hindu wall. He was thrown into prison. No court date set, nothing. And we were here in Freeport praying for, we had a 40-day prayer at the time. And I remember on the 18th of December, we were praying that he would be home for Christmas. On the 18th of December, they went in and kicked him out of the prison and sent him home.
Apostle Anthony Grant says the Bible specifically talks about preaching to all nations, and that's what his church has pledged to do.
The Bible says we must go into all the world and preach the gospel. And we may not be able to go physically, but we can make connections in those places physically. We are so blessed in the Bahamas, where we can still stand in the open and preach, where we can still, when there is a political event going on, it begins with prayer. We are so blessed. I just thank God for the Bahamas, but I thank God for what we can do in India and the impact we can have on them.
Pastor Kumar traveled to Grand Bahama for the recent conference Gathering of the Saints, and he says he feels strengthened and is excited about going back to India to share more about the gospel of Jesus Christ. Well, a competition that motivates young people to stay on the cutting edge of science was held recently at the Jack Hayward High School. Megan Shepard reports.
The SECME program on Grand Bahama began as an initiative by the Rotary Club to make Bahamian students more well-rounded when it comes to competing on the international market for scholarship opportunities. Now, as the program celebrates 20 years, Coordinator Dennis Knowles says they've added a new component to the annual competition.
We're going to start off today with the Mousetrap car, and that's an event. Next, we're going to go outside and do the bottle rockets, and then we're going to come back and do something that's totally new to SECME, which is the robotics competition.
Knowles says that the SECME competition has been one of the most successful programs for students on Grand Bahama.
There's something like 57 school districts SECME is in, with about 800 schools and 30,000 students. And when Grand Bahama goes to the SECME competitions in the States, in the national competition, in the last 10 years we've been in the top 5.
Assistant Director of Education Herbert Marshall thanking all entities that contribute to the success of the program. He says the competition motivates the young people to stay on the cutting edge of science.
Our students get to be involved in science activities in which they have to apply information that they learn in the classroom. And so we have had tremendous success in this program. We have in fact seen the motivation of our students improve. And we have had a tremendous amount of engineers produced as a result of working through this program for the past 20 years.
The competition involved both junior and senior high students. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
And now it is time to ask the doctor.
Hi and welcome. Today I'll wrap up my special series on depression with a focus on children and adolescents. Depression affects children by disrupting their normal development if it goes untreated. It can present with signs similar to those seen in adults, which include sadness, fatigue, low energy, and withdrawal from activities. But in children, it often manifests in different ways as well, such as disruptive behaviors, violence, aggression, substance abuse, and even suicide. No child is born with depression. A family history can put a child at a higher risk of developing depression, but in children, it is often caused by social problems, poverty, abuse, neglect, developmental problems, family issues, or academic challenges. There are many therapies available to prevent, manage, and treat depression in children and adolescents. If you suspect that a child you know, or if your own child or teen may be experiencing signs of depression, speak to a family member, a doctor, or a mental health professional at your community clinic. Help is always available. If you need answers to any of the questions regarding depression or other mental health disorders, please email askdrbahamas@gmail.com. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Jacob, that's Ricardo Lightborn as a check on sports when we come back.